Hello everyone and welcome, it's Greg here. Today I am going to be doing a post-battle commentary over the top of a live replay that I had on Germania, taking out the Tier 7 Armored Legionaries with Germanicus, playing solo, so I'm not in a party today. To begin with, I'm located on the B side of Germania. This is the side with long stretches of grass between B and E, so vision is very minimal along here. I'll keep one of my units back just to prevent back cap and also to prevent cavalry from coming in behind of the repeating crossbow player that is just to the left of me in this video. He's about to come into vision. This battle was pretty interesting in that I was positioned alongside a very good player in the repeating crossbow player. I've seen him play a lot. He's actually a content creator himself, and although we've never worked together before, we've never talked together before, there is an unspoken need to work together to achieve our collective goals on the battlefield. So as a part of the same team, I think that's one of the most important parts of playing Total War Arena, which is to recognise that working with the players around you, sometimes sacrificing yourself statistically, can improve the likelihood of victory, and you'll see that in here today. As a rule, from now on, I'm going to be blurring the player names on the left and right hand side of the screen, and I've also changed my game configuration to only show the unit names instead of the player names, just out of a mark of respect to the other players. And I understand that some people don't want their names to be shown in the game or on my videos, so you'll have to I apologise for that now if you like seeing your name in the game. I just think that a lot of people may not necessarily want their names to be shown on my videos. Anyway, onto the battle itself. So I am kind of creating a bit of a barrier here around the repeating crossbow player. I don't want the cavalry to come in there, so for now I'm going to be playing a bit defensively, leaving one of my units back just in case we need to rush into B quickly to defend it. And I'm just trying to finish off the rest of these Carthaginian spears. I have no problem with taking a bit of friendly fire there from the repeating crossbow. It is just part of playing with them, and we're ultimately able to get rid of them quite quickly. Just scanning across the other side of the map to see what's going on before we push up towards E. So what I'm just trying to do is basically give that repeating crossbow player a bit of reassurance that I am going to be sticking with him as much as possible, defending his flanks, and with that, if you give them confidence that you are going to be defending them, they're more likely to help you out throughout the battle. And obviously, if a ranged player doesn't have to worry so much about being charged out of nowhere, they're going to be able to do their thing a lot more effectively, and they definitely did that in this battle. So we're pushing up towards E here. We have lost vision because the cavalry that was up there has died off, so we're not too sure what's going to happen here. As we approach the E capture point, what I want to do is make sure that we're not going to be hit from behind here, but what I want to do is push past the E capture point. And what that'll allow us to do is to send the 3 repeating crossbows into that location, and also my 3rd sword unit, and the 2 frontal units are going to keep pushing those units back. What's going to happen is they're going to struggle to get vision of us very soon, and we're also going to be able to establish that location and capture that point a lot faster. So you can see I'm sending one of my swords up there into the long grass to get vision, but also to push them back, and the stronger unit with more health there is going a lot further advanced there, and I'm doing that so that I can keep pushing those units back, but I can also just draw that weaker unit back. That unit that's further ahead there, unit number 1, he is just up there right now just to keep the vision as long as possible. Just let the repeating crossbow player do all the hard work. I'm just going to send him back and forth, and what that's going to do is it's going to make sure that we still have vision. Now, I probably shouldn't have pushed too far in there at that point, because what then happened was our repeating crossbow player accidentally sent some friendly fire in, but knowing that he has the ability to heal me, I'm not too concerned about that. Pulling my 3rd unit up there just to protect the rear, because I have not seen much of the cavalry from the enemy team, and I just want to make sure that there's a bit of confidence there in the friendly player that he can just fire in. And so now we've got the 2nd unit healing up, And what we'll need to do now is to look to push towards C. The enemy has captured C and it's now unlocked, so we can make a play towards there. Our elephants are pushing up towards their base. I'm not too sure if that's a move that we should be doing this early in the piece, given that we only have the one avenue to victory across this side of the map. Although I'm confident we can hold this side of the map. It might be a bit premature to be doing that without a second path, for instance capturing C. So we have across here our repeating crossbow player is moving towards C, and what I need to do is I need to follow him as closely as possible to continue providing that heavy infantry protection, especially as we have some tier 9 Hypaspists who would be able to pop fight in the shade, and he would have very good range protection, and there's also the tier 9 repeating crossbows in there. So we need to make sure that the spears don't get close enough that the repeating crossbow has to withdraw from the engagement and lose out there by turning his back, and then the repeating crossbow on the enemy team can fire in. I need to get my other unit in here as quickly as possible. Although he has gone into hoplite phalanx, he is still within range to begin applying pressure on him, so just going to charge straight in there, tie up those units so he can withdraw out and reassess what he's going to do next. This position for him is very strong because the enemy would be out of range by now and wouldn't be able to fire on him up in that location. And he can also just drop back into the long grass or just go all the way back to the healing zone, heal up and come back with full strength. Their repeating crossbows have got quite a lot of their health still, and they are looking to push up towards where we are now. I've unfortunately lost one of my units, but I did have one of my units sitting in that spawn zone, knowing that I was probably going to lose it in an engagement frontally to tier 9 spears. So they are pushing aggressively here up towards E. They are even capturing it at this point. So what I need to do is I'm going to send the respawned unit into E and begin engaging him in melee. I'm just waiting for my second unit to die off here so I can respawn him. If I don't have time for that and they start applying pressure onto the repeating crossbows, I'm just going to have to withdraw out of that spawn zone and protect the repeating crossbow as long as possible, because to get that second unit back isn't more important than defending the ranged unit. So I'm going to have to bring him out of there now and try and defend him to the best of my capacity. They are looking to get around the back of the repeating crossbows, but if I can tie up just one of the units, then he's going to be able to fire into the other one and weaken him strong enough that he can probably just fall back straight through the unit and not take too much damage. My unit that is up on E is struggling quite a bit right now, so we're running out of time here. Those glaives are doing a very good job on my Armored Legionaries on E, so we really need to get rid of these Hypaspists and then push in there and start contesting. They have some slingers that are moving up here towards that watchtower. It's a very, very good tactical position to be in up there, because if you can take the watchtower, you're going to be able to deny healing at the E spawn, and you're also going to be able to fire in for an extended period of time without any real pressure. So we really need to get them off that location, or alternatively, get rid of everything else and then push up there. So unfortunately I don't have time here to heal up my unit. I'm going to have to get in there because those elephants aren't going to last too much longer, and those pikes aren't going to last too much longer either. I'm not too sure if they've actually got their pikes down. Probably with the elephants there, they chose not to, just to go straight into melee. Anyway, pushing into E now. I'm trying to get in there as quickly as possible so I can help out, and looks like the repeating crossbows has lost out to ours, and the elephant is chasing them out. Now the slinger here made a bit of a mistake by walking away from that watchtower. We didn't have any vision up there. If it was me, I probably would have stayed up there and just fired down on the repeating crossbow, or even split them and sent one of the units up onto the rocky ledge just above our repeating crossbow, because we wouldn't be able to get any vision up there and we'd be able to hit them from two different angles, but that's their choice. Just flicking back here to look at the base, because we have some ranged player back there not doing too much. It looks like we've actually captured D at the same time, which is very good for us. Means we're holding a significant portion of the capture points, getting a lot of points in every second, and that's always nice. So the repeating crossbow player has pushed up there and has killed off a lot of those slingers, and it looks like the enemy has actually begun capturing our base. So we'll need to pay attention to that and how many units are going to press in there. It looks like they've got 3 at this point, we've got about a minute or so before we need to really take action on that to remove them out if we need to fall back. Need to heal up all 3 units here and look to make a press towards C, because if they're trying to capture our base and we take C away from them, then there's no avenue for them to victory. So we need to make sure that if we're not going to fall back, we're at least going to try and press that location and take that away from them. So looking across the map, we don't have a lot of vision of their units. It's always something you need to be very mindful of, is where are the enemy units. On this map in particular, because it is so big and there's so many areas you can hide, taking a view like I have here now gives you a very wide range of vision across the whole map. I'm leaving one of my units on E just in case the enemy pushes up there, and it gives us a bit of time to defend it, and also a bit more vision of the enemy. Trying to leave one of my other 2 units with the groups of repeating crossbows as they push through the trees and also through the marshes towards C. Always want to make sure that I'm trying to defend him to the best of my capacity. Because also with these units, if we come across ranged, what I'm going to try and do, and knowing what happens next, is I can just pop Testudo and just walk straight towards them, and frontally they're not going to do much damage, and just that zonal pressure of just pushing, the instant they turn their back and walk away, I'm going to be able to start fire. The repeating crossbow player is going to be able to fire on them. And I'm going to just keep pushing them. Looks like we have someone trying to capture their base at the same time. Not too sure how that's going to go. Anyway, the repeating crossbow has gotten in range of those archers and has done a very nice job of killing him off. Slowly just walking towards the C spawn. This is something you always need to be very mindful of in this game, is every capture point has a spawn location. You need to press both locations in order to capture it in most instances. You can't just march on to the capture point and assume that you're going to be able to successfully take it. You need to factor in that there is 6 to 9 units of archers in there that are just going to rain down on you if you don't deal with them first. Unfortunately here I have to drop my Testudo in order to take out these Myrmidians, but that is an acceptable loss there. I'm going to get dealt a lot of damage here, but what I'm doing is I'm going to position my other unit just in front of him in Testudo, just soak up all of those arrows, and you can see he's doing very little damage here, making light work of those Myrmidians after the repeating crossbow player helped me out there. And then what I'm going to do is with the frontal unit here that is nearly dead, send him into Testudo and just march him onto C whilst the rest of my units are capturing C. They should have been firing on the units that are capturing the point, not on me there, because they're doing no damage at all. The unit that I left up there on E is defending it quite well against those spears, so we're just going to leave him in there and let him hack away. Popped Vengeance on him. Doesn't look like they're doing too much to deny Vengeance there. If he just disengaged and came back, he could have dropped it off. And you can see here, I'm just marching towards them here. That unit would have lost its Testudo as soon as it touched the range player and popped the strikes. So I have no range protection there, so they could just fire on me, kill me off, which they did. But with the other unit, what I'm doing now is, now that we've captured C, what I'm doing is I'm just going to march towards D. E is very easily held here. They are trying to drop back to pop my Vengeance off, or to make it drop off. But what I then did was just heavy infantry charge into him, and that maintained it because I was still in melee. What I'm going to do with my other unit, the third one, is still just fighting away up there, so I'm not too concerned about what's going on there. But the unit over here is, I'm going to send him straight onto the D spawn. Once again, focusing on the spawn so that someone else can go in there and capture the point. If all of these ranged players that have just healed up or just respawned back here on D are too busy focusing on us advancing on the spawn, they're not looking at the elephant that's about to walk onto D and start capturing it. So they really should have sent a couple of the units onto D just to deny us from capturing it, and their ranged players could have fired onto that elephant and they would have killed him off. And we don't really have too many other units apart from the other elephant and the glaives that are pushing towards that location at this point. It would have given them a bit more time to maybe spawn something into there that would have been a bit more suitable to kill me off, and given those archers a bit more of a time to actually deal with the units we have up here in order to mount some sort of defense. And all I'm going to do here is now just sit that unit on the spawn. It's going to deny healing, it's going to tie up any units that actually spawn into that location, and all the while we're capturing D. We're about to capture or take D away from them, so they can't spawn anything new there, they can't heal up there, and the only tactical location they have now to respawn units is their base. Anyway, that's pretty much all I have for this video. The battle is about to wrap up because we are accruing 6 points a second here, and we're running out of time. So the whole point of this video was basically to highlight the fact that if you're playing solo, you've got to work with the people around you, and you've got to try and sometimes sacrifice your own statistics in a battle in order to achieve the victory for the team itself. In order to win, this is a team game, so you do need to work with other players in order to achieve victory, and also to think about what's going on around you more than what's going on right in front of you. Sometimes there's another engagement that's more tactically convenient to go into and achieve the same result. Anyway, I hope you like this video. Let me know what you think in the comments, and have a good day, everyone. Bye.